Well, hello folks, welcome back to the channel. What I've done today, I've just set some track up just to get a look at what it's going to look like and how it's going to feel. I still haven't got the boards yet to go on properly. These are the temporary boards. These boards are a little bit warped, as I've said in the past. But I've got 3 different gauges today laid out so I can get a feel of each gauge, because I'm not sure what gauge I'm going to use on this layout. I've got O gauge, which is the larger one, then we come down to the double O, and then we come down to the TT 120. Obviously if I use the O gauge, there's plenty of room to use that. However, there'll be less track space because the track's much bigger. Then if we come down to the double O, then I've got more room, and with double O I've got a lot more double O gauge rolling stock and locos, so that's something I've got to think about. And then down to the smaller gauge, the TT 120. Now that could become quite a big layout to go all the way down there, because the tracks are so small. They're not quite as small as the N gauge. They're a little bit bigger, I believe. But what I've done, I've got the three gauges laid out so I can have a look. So I'll show you what I'm looking at. But I have got to say, with the board being up at this height, you get much better perspective looking at the locos. You get a much more feel for it when they're kind of at head height. They're below head height when I'm stood up, but just nice to look at. You get the real feel for the gauge and the scale of things. And when I sit down like this, it's absolutely perfect. I'm right dead level with the side of the trains, and that perspective is fantastic to watch the trains move. It really makes you, it draws you in, and it does make you feel like you're there. You'll have to excuse me a little bit. I've got a bit of a cold and not feeling too well, but I'm cracking on. So if I feel a bit hoarse or sound a bit hoarse, that's what it is. So what I'll do is I'm going to run them. I've got a camera up here set up so you can see them coming towards the camera, and I can explain, because they're all 3 are on DCC at the moment. Although I do have a lot of DC models as well. Not all my Triangs are DC, which is how they're powered. The DCC is digital, and they have a little microchip inside, or they're called decoders. And the benefits of that is you can run more than one train on the same track. And you can operate them independently on the same track, which obviously makes it, your options are more open. You can do a lot more stuff than if it's DC, one loco to each track. There are ways round so you can run other locos on the DC track, but it starts to get a bit complicated. And although the DCC is a little bit complicated if you don't understand it, and I'm only just grasping it really, although I've had them a while, and I've just been, dipping my toe in the water really. So I've also got 2 controls set up, because my TT 120 is operating from Bluetooth, which is operating on this system. Although if I wanted, I can operate it on this system as well. If I want, I can put it onto there, but it is on this system at the moment. Now with the Bluetooth system, this is an Ormby system, and that's their decoders. I could walk anywhere in this room, take this with me, and it'll operate, and I can operate it all the way down the other side of the room. So that's the beneficial of having Bluetooth. However, you can get handsets like this that are not wired. I think you can turn to these to Bluetooth. I think there's a way around that, I think, but you do get quite a long cable, so I may have to move the panel, which is down there, but it would go, I don't know if my camera won't swing around that far. Oh, it's got me again. But it would go to my workbench down there, so I could take that down there as well. So virtually almost to the other end of this layout. Not quite, not like it'll reach there. It wouldn't quite reach all the way down that end, but not far away. And I'm guessing I could get an extension lead for that if I wanted. So what I'll do then for you, I'll run the TT 120 first. Now, because the track's quite short with the TT, because it's out of my my set that's up there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. It's up there out that box, and that's all the track I have at the moment for that. And this is the decision I need to make. Do I go forward with the TT stuff and buy more stuff, whereas I've got a lot of double O track. I've got some O gauge track as well, probably enough. Yes, definitely enough to reach all the way down there. I probably need to get a couple extra points and things like that. But I have got a lot of double O gauge. So I'm kind of swinging to double O at the moment, but I'm not 100% sure, and this is why I was doing this little experiment. Anyway, I'll shut up talking, kind of, and I'll move some trains so you can have a look. I've set a microphone up down the bottom here as well as I've got one here. So it picks the sound up as I start them up there. So what I'll do is the TT 120 first, and I just press a button there and she should start up. There you go. I'll just make sure it goes in the right direction, which is that way. And I'll start her up and she'll start to move. Should get a whistle first before it moves, because I've got it on auto. There it goes. I'll just slow it down a bit. I'll just stop it there. The track actually comes to the end. There's my finger, it's just past my finger there. So I won't take it any further. What I'll do, I'll put it in reverse and take that one back. And then when that one's gone back, I'll do the double O gauge. Slow it down. Ooh, just before he gets to the end there. And have you noticed? The light's on red, so it should be stopping there, yeah? Okay, I'll turn that on off. And now I'm going to go to the DCC and controller. This is NCE Power Cab. I've had this a few years now. It's kind of the kind of go-to one for beginners and slightly more experienced stuff. There are more expensive stuff and more professional stuff, but this is quite a good standard to start with and to progress a little bit. So what I'll do, just make sure I've got the right loco logged into the controller, which I haven't, so I need to change that. Where am I? Recall 328, that's the one. Okay, and I'm going to start this one up now. This one here is the one that's going to start up. And she goes through a startup procedure. And then that's a run up now, and now I'll turn the headlights on. And away we go. This one's going to go past the camera. Actually, I didn't want it to go down the siding, so I'm going to stop it there. Going to bring it back. There's a reason why I didn't want it to go down the siding, however, it doesn't matter. I'll bring it back. I'll just slow it down and stop it. It's going a bit too fast. I need to stop it so it doesn't push into the wall. That's not getting used to it. You have to get used to the speed, or you can alter the speed and the control in the menu so it would stop a little bit quicker and things like, you can do all things like that. However, I wanted to just show you why DCC is beneficial and you can run more than one train on one track, because I'm going to leave that one running so you can hear it running. Right, I need to recall the other one, which is outside the camera. Just make sure I've got the right one. I'm going to start that one up. This one's a little bit quieter, and again you can turn the volumes up on them as well. Turn the headlights on. Change the direction because this one's going to be in reverse. And here she comes. Might just take a couple of seconds to come into view. Here she comes. And now you can hear that one still running, and that one's running as well on the same track. That's the reason why I wanted to show you that. I'm just going to slow it down. What I'll do is I'm going to open the points. I'm going to bring this one back, and here she comes. There she goes. And I'll just stop that one there. That one stopped. Then if I recall that one, I'm going to change the points again and put that down into the siding. And then we'll look at the O gauge. And then stop that one. And now for the O gauge. Starting up. This is a nice little shunter, this is. I've got to say, all the models that you can hear with sound, except the TT120, I fitted all the decoders and the sound decoders myself. They didn't come like that, pre-installed. I had to order them and then install them myself. And it comes, and you can see it's a much bigger loco. I love O gauge because my eyesight's not brilliant and you can see a lot more detail. Right, I'll just park that one there. So that's where I am. Comment below, let me know what you think. What gauge should I go for? Or do I use all three gauges and just put a straight line and a couple of sidings and not use all three? It doesn't have to be, you know, exact. There's no rules, there's no laws. I can do what I want, but it would be nice to make a little layout, I suppose. I am leaning towards the double O gauge, I've got to be honest, because the TT120 is really small. However, it is nice and I do like it. And the O gauge, there's more expense there with O gauge. And I must say that it's the same with the TT120. Excuse me. The cost of the locos are quite expensive. So, does it make sense to stick with the double O gauge? I've got plenty of O gauge track. I've got plenty of O gauge rolling stock and locos. I've got quite a few up there. I've got a lot more locos that are fitted with DCC. I've also got, like I said before, I've got some just DC. But I could make this layout DC and DCC, where I have a switch and I can flick it. So if I want to use my DC models on there, at least I can put them on and I can try them, because I like my Triangs and my Ren, and they're a lot older models. And you can actually make them DCC as well, but I like to keep them kind of original, kind of. So let me know in the comments what you think. Is it O gauge, double O, or TT120? Let me know what you think and what you would do. And don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe and give us a thumbs up. And this section of my channel, I will be doing other stuff as well, because that's what my channel's about, what I do, which is lots of different things. So you will see other stuff coming up, but you're gonna start seeing quite a bit of this, because that's what I'm doing at the moment, and I can't get out and about with my arthritis at the moment. I am about to see a consultant. I'm just waiting for that appointment, so fingers crossed for the future I can get things a bit more back on track. So let me know in the comments, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time, and thanks for tuning in. Well, it's the next day. I've just nipped down to the workshop just to show you my Triang. There were, if you saw my video before of me receiving a new 08 shunter, and I was looking for the body shell for my green one, which is at the end of the track there. I've removed all my DCC stuff, and this is DC now. And I thought I'd just pop down, because I'm trying to do some editing, and I thought I'd clip this onto the end of this this video. But I've been really unwell overnight. I've got the lurgy. The week started with me having sickness and diarrhea, and it's come out in like a cold flu. And I have struggled all day, but I've been and had some sleep, and it's eased off a little bit, so I thought I'd come down and do this so I can just tag it onto the end. So this is the next day from the previous part of this video. What I'll do, I'll just bring the 08 shunter up towards the camera, make sure it's going the right way. Here she comes. Now this is an old Triang on newish track, and you might get things like that happen. but they're not usually too bad. And here she is. And if you remember, I wanted to change this shell because I'll just put my glasses on so I can see what you're seeing. You can see the broken buffer there, and I wanted to change it. And when I did the last video with that black one that I purchased, I haven't got it here to show you. It must be in the box. I was explaining that I needed a new shell for this, and that one come and I repaired it, and well, I didn't repair it, it was working fine, it just needed a service, and I serviced it and it's fine. So it ended up I still needed a shell for this one. However, I spotted one come up on eBay a few days ago, exactly the same colour, and here she is, and it cost me £12. Other ones similar were £15 upwards, so I thought, I've got to do it. If I'm going to get one, I need to do it. And luckily it's the same colour, so it'll be from the same era, and it should fit okay. So what I'm going to do is just take this one off, and I'll pop this one on, and I can show you with it on. It's only one small screw at the back. They come off quite simple, just like that. Just want to make sure I don't drop the screw though. Out it comes. Just a little bit more. Yeah, it's been a rough night. I'll get through it. A bit of man flu. Right, this should just pop off now, look. And if I bring it up, can you see you can see where it's broken at the front. And I purchased it like that when I purchased it, so, and I've had it, I don't know if it's a couple of years, I think I've had it. And obviously this one was fine. I actually thought, when I saw it, there was some paint missing at the front, but it looks fine. So, let's pop her on. Should just hook on. There you go. Just put the screw back in. Just make sure it's over the screw hole so it goes in. There we go. And there you go. I'll just tighten it up, not over tight, just so it just nips up like that. And now it's just the same motor and everything underneath, so it should work exactly the same. Oh, something catching there. Can you hear that? That's that point again. Sounds like I've got something catching. So there's probably, I've probably pushed a wire or something, and they just pop that back off. Let's try that. Oh, that's a bit better. Oh, that's better. Yeah, it was just the cable was just vibrating on the case. There it comes. Look at that. What a beauty.